the cloud. We're good. Okay, I needed to do that. You guys, okay, so we're recording now. So, okay, so I just want to say something. I want you guys to think about today, okay? And think about like this moment right now. Some of you may be like, yeah, we're rolling with the punches. Yeah, it's another Wednesday or another Tuesday or another Friday. We're dealing with restocks. The site is down, stuff is happening. How did you react? I want you to think about that. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to say yes or no, but I want you to think about how you react when situations come up like that. Do you get frustrated? Do you get disappointed? Do you get, oh my God, again, here we go, this is crap? Or what are your thoughts? And I want you to, and the reason why I'm talking about this, especially on this call, is because I believe that if you chose to hop on this call, is because you have a vision that is maybe larger than the vision that other people on the team have. I believe that you're here because you're building your business and you have goals and things that you want to accomplish financially, entrepreneur wise. So I want you to think about that when you start feeling, and I know that if we are aware of it, we're better able to control it and manage it. But if you're constantly thinking, oh, I'm so disappointed, I'm so frustrated, I'm so annoyed, the site is down, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna go far with this business. And it doesn't matter what MLM, direct sales company you choose to go to, you're gonna struggle because this happens, and it's not just Zaya. And to me, like I got a few messages like that today, and I'm like, why are you disappointed? Like, we have a product that a lot of people want, and that's why. It's not that the website sucks, it's not that the credit card, it's that there's too high demand. There's too many people that want what we have, and that's what's causing the problems. It's our fault. If we think about it, it's our fault. We're doing a really good job at promoting these products, at sharing and rocking these outfits, and people want it. So we hype it all week. Tell me, raise your hand if you, when you found out that yesterday that we were restocking this stuff, you went nuts posting it and blasting it everywhere. Good job, girlfriends. It's our fault, which is good. That's what we're supposed to do. So guess what? I had people tell me, you try to order, I'm gonna try order on my end. Whoever gets it first, like customers. That's a pretty big deal, you guys. I remember when I was with my previous company, Shake Health and Fitness Company, I remember begging people until the last day to buy so I could sell 3 stinking packages so I could make Success Club at the end of the month. It was so stressful to find three people. And here we have a lot of people wanting these products. So I want you to, with all the love coming from the most loving place in my heart, Melissa, you feel me? From a place of love, toughen up, roll with the punches, keep going. We've been through this. I've been with Zaya since February of 2018. You want me to tell you what was available then? Nothing. There was no kid stuff. There was one pair of joggers. There was no florals, although there were pictures everywhere. There were no florals. There were no bumblebees in my size. There were some, but there weren't that many. There was a poppy tank top, the copper charge. There was few grid bras that I didn't get a chance to get because they were sold out. That was it. Like right now we have so much that we can sell, but we just focus on one thing. Now, today we have lots and lots of inventory. And what they're trying to do, if you guys, you guys were part of, maybe you guys didn't catch the update, but if you did, awesome, this would just be a refresher. But we heard from Zach about the idea that they have, which I think is great. They waited this long to launch the restock of the leopards because they wanted to make sure there was a lot. Like tomorrow we're gonna wake up and there's gonna be stuff available. Okay, so don't worry. I just started. I tell you, I just started. I don't get I don't get frustrated because of it. I personally, and I'm human, I get frustrated because I wish more people saw it that way and calm down and realize that it's gonna get fixed. They're working on it. Okay. So that's my point. And it is just so fitting that I asked Tracy, it being that she just became a full-time mom, fulfilled her dream of becoming a full-time mom, leaving her really demanding, stinky, and annoying job. Not stinky. She has a really good job. Just the environment that she was in was demanding a lot of her. And being that we've become so close, and I just working together with her and being so close for the longest time since she started. It's just been so cool to watch the journey. It was hard at times because, to be honest, if her office was here, I would just go punch her boss. Many times I wanted to, like, why do people do that? That's so messed up. I can't have a boss. So I don't know. I deal with stuff like that. But it's been so great to see just how someone can be so resilient and so strong and being human and everything, but still show up. There were times where I'm like, you just bring this sense of calm even in the middle of the storms. And that's something that I admire about her, because I don't have that, but I do admire that from her. And I want you guys to hear more of her stories. Tracy is she was one of the first few crazy people to reach out when I said that I was joining this activewear company. I had no clue what I was doing, but we were gonna figure it out. She was like, "Oh, I'm in," and I'm in Florida. She's in California. We've been working together for a while. We had never met before, so it's just amazing the relationships that can be developed. And I do believe that when you hold hands with other people in this business, you can become more resilient, more determined, more committed, and not just, you realize that you're not alone in your struggles and on the things that you're going through. Other people are for sure going through. So even though I'm her sponsor, and that doesn't mean anything, we started at the same time. So I feel like we developed this business all at the same time, many of us at the same time. And that's really, really exciting. I'm super grateful for her. She's a double IA executive. She's now full-time. What? I know. We say she retired from her job, but I feel like she didn't retire, right? Not retire, but she left her job just last week. She was able to go to her boss and say, "I'm out, bro. See ya." And she's got a team of over 800 reps, 850, right? Downline of over 850 reps. She has a large part of that team is in Canada. They're all over the world. Some of you guys are here, not over the world, but all over the country. She is, what else? Oh, her lifetime sales are over $75,000. So with a very demanding full-time job, 2 little kids, which I adore and I can't wait to meet in person. We're best friends through Zoom and FaceTime. So without further ado, I just want to introduce you guys to Tracy. Many of you know her, and she's gonna share with us so many great things, so inspiring. Tracy, here you go. I am going to unmute you. Ask to unmute. I have to ask for permission to unmute you.
I didn't want to be unmuted.
Where's Amanda? There you
Are
go.
we good? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. All right. Hi guys. This is just so surreal, and I am so excited to be here talking to you guys. It is such an honor. And so I wanted to thank you all. I know everyone probably has better things to do right now, but you're here right now listening to this call and showing up. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. And Marlena, I'm in Escondido, by the way. So I'm probably just north of you. She's saying she's in San Diego. So, okay. Yeah, I just left my job last week, and doesn't feel real. I still feel like I have to whip out my laptop after this call and go do some more work. So this is just crazy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life before Zaya, and then my life during Zaya, and now after Zaya. So before Zaya, I was in another network marketing company. I was with that company for almost 3 years. And with that company, you know, I was really, really convinced that that company was going to bring me home full time. And it wasn't going there. And I wouldn't say I was unsuccessful with it. I was able to grow a small team, but the amount of time that was required of it was just not, it wasn't, I didn't have enough time being a full-time working mom to be able to devote that time needed to be able to grow it. So that's when Paula was sharing that she had joined a new company. And I remember thinking back, like, even long before she announced it, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if there was an MLM for activewear? And because this is when like LuLaRoe was like really big. And so I'm thinking that would be so cool, except, you know, I don't want to carry inventory. I don't want to have to ship this stuff. Well, when Paula posted about it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm in, let's do this. And we had no idea what we were doing. So when I joined, I had no expectations of anything really. I started my VIP group. I just shared and did the launch party, and just, you know, it just went from there. And the business slowly grew. I slowly grew a team. I wasn't really in it to build a team, but it just kind of happened. And I think that happened naturally just from sharing openly about the business and about the opportunity. And when people asked me about it, I was just kind of like, you know, like what Paula said to me, we'll figure it out. You know, we'll get through it. If you have questions, we'll find an answer. And so it kind of grew from there. And then after that, you know, it's just, it's snowballed into this amazing, amazing thing, this amazing blessing. And flash forward to now, I have left my job. One of the things that I haven't really spoken about before is that this has really helped my marriage. Financial stress is hard. And sorry, the screen just changed. I'm like, whoa, what happened? So financial stress, you know, it's hard on a relationship. And now that that is kind of behind us, it has really, really helped us, and it's helped us grow and dream, and just dream bigger dreams together. So now that I'm not working, I'm kind of intimidated because I'm like, I'm so used to being so busy and just like doing little things here and there. And now that I'm not that busy anymore, I'm like, okay, now I have to buckle down and I have to have a routine. I have to figure things out. I thrive on routine. And so I'm working through that right now, but I'm just super excited to be able to spend more time with my family and to just to be there with them. And through this whole COVID thing, you know, I've been working from home, but I wasn't present with them. I was always working nonstop. The only time I would stop working was to feed them and to bathe them. And then it was back to work until they went to bed. So now I'm just working on something. So if you guys have advice on what it takes to be a full-time network marketing mom, I am totally open for advice, but I'm just taking it one day at a time. So one of the questions that Paula had for me that she wanted me to touch up on was new skills.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah, sure. I like this interview thing.
Okay. So I asked Tracy, of course, to share a little bit more about her background and her story and what she was struggling with. So the next question that I have for you, Tracy, is what are some skills that you've learned that you didn't have before, and what helped you learn and develop those new skills?
Okay, so one of the primary skills I would say is communication. I'm like such an awkward person. Like I don't I was never good at talking to people in real life, like typing to people. I am so good at messaging people. But if I'm talking in person or on the phone or in this video right now, it's like, this is way out of my comfort zone. But the fact that doing it and doing it a lot despite being so uncomfortable and so scared and like sweaty pits, sweaty palms, shaky voice, like it doesn't matter. Like as long as you keep doing it, you get better and you learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Yeah, it's this is kind of, it's scary, you know, it's scary talking in front of all you guys, but you know, you just gotta do it. You just gotta like jump in and do the scary things, because what I've learned is that when you go back and you look back on it, like, yeah, it was scary, but you get such a rush and you feel so accomplished and you feel so good about it. So communication is one of the first things that I really had to work hard on. And also communication via messaging. I had to learn how to talk to people. I know I've scared off a lot of people from word vomiting, especially in the beginning. When people would ask about the business, I would give them a full-on novel about the business, and people are like, no thanks. So, you know, even then you learn how to talk to people through messaging. So the next skill I would say is posture and confidence. These are, yes, Jamie, do it anyway. The posture and confidence these are not characteristics. Confidence, I believe, is a skill, and it's a skill that you have to really work on a lot.
Right?
Yeah, and confidence is something that you become better as you do it, and that goes back to the communication thing, but that goes towards anything that you're doing, whether it's parties, whether it's approaching people about the business opportunity. Confidence and posture are things that are practiced. And I don't mean to go against the grain here when I say I hear people say you have to believe in yourself, and part of me disagrees with that, because I think believing in yourself is already fronting that confidence, and a lot of us don't have that. And so I don't go with the motto of believing in yourself. I like what Jamie said. It's just do it scared, do it uncomfortably, do it without knowing really what you're doing, and just learning in the process. I think the belief in yourself grows, the confidence in yourself grows. And the other skill that I've learned along the way is leadership. I think leadership intimidates a lot of people. Growing a team, being accountable as a leader is extremely intimidating, and it was for me. And when my business was growing, I started back in March of 2018. And when this business was growing, this team was growing, I was just kind of rolling with it. I didn't really know what it meant to show up as a leader. And one of the things that I think today, the experience that we all had today is probably a good segue into this story. So kind of, I there was a time in 2018 when we had severe inventory issues, and it was a specific does that sound familiar to anyone? Inventory problems. Well, there was a time in 2018 where it made me crumble. And it was when I was on a work trip. I was taking off. The flight was actually taking off, and we just got word that the Oh So Soft hoodies restocked. And I was on my phone. I was posting in my VIP group. I was so excited. And then as my flight was landing, it was like an hour and a half flight, a bunch of messages started coming through from my team chats of just pure frustration and anger. Inventory was such a challenge. What happens now is cake. Melissa, that is so true.
There's more stuff.
The problem was real. So that's why I'm so calm now. Like it's like, no, not a big deal. But no, what happened back then was like, all the messages in my team chat started populating when the flight was landing, and it was devastating. No one could get on the site. Everything was sold out by the time people got on. And it was absolutely devastating. Everyone was so frustrated. And as a leader, I remember going to Paula. I'm like, Paula, what do I tell them? What do I say? There is nothing I can say that will bring the inventory back. You know, there's nothing I can do. And that was a big point that really tested me as a leader. And I crumbled. And I stopped really showing up for the team. I just kind of, I would post in my VIP group, but I wasn't really doing anything. And so fast forward a couple months later, I had qualified for the leadership trip in Cancun in January of 2019. And I went reluctantly. I went feeling very out of place. I was there with all of the Zaya celebrities. I was there with Paula. I was there with Aaron Bradley, Zach, Brenda, like all the people. And I felt so out of place. I felt so undeserving. I had stopped showing up. And there was one thing that I took away from that trip. And that is the one thing that completely changed my business and changed me forever. And it was that every single one of those leaders dealt with that Oh So Soft hoodie issue, every single one of them. But they kept showing up. They kept showing up for their business. They had the faith in the company and they kept going. They did not let that issue defeat them or derail them. And that's the one thing I learned from them. And I said, you know what? I have to keep going. And so when I came back from that trip, I dove into Bob Heilig's Legacy Leadership Academy. And it was that point in time I realized that I needed to work on myself as a leader. And the thing about being a leader is that what Bob teaches especially is that you just have to love everyone. Love everyone where they're at. There is a place for everyone on this team. Every single person is important because not everyone, those of you guys who are on this call, you're here because you care about your business. You're here because you want to learn, you want to grow, but not everyone on this team is like that. And that is fine. That is totally fine. There is a spot for everyone. And so you don't ever want anyone to feel like they're not good enough or that they're not showing up enough or that they're not performing enough, because the beauty about network marketing is that there's a way for this business to fit into everyone's lifestyle. And so that was one of the biggest things that I learned with the Leadership Academy is that being a good leader is leading with love and loving on people. Paula has great systems and the systems are there. So you as a leader showing up for your community, showing up with love and encouraging people, being their support system, that's really what it is. And so that's the last skill that I wanted to talk about was leadership.
And just to expand on what Tracy's saying, and I think it's something that happens to many people who come into the business, and especially if you're a driven person, and it can hit you like a wall of bricks just crumbling when you realize that you start questioning, like, why aren't people doing anything? Why are people frustrated? What are they doing? And when you come from a place of understanding that everybody is going through different things, and I'm as you're saying these things, Tracy, and I do know, like, we're here. And we have a lot of people that have joined Zaya because they love the product, they love the business, they love what's happening, and they want to get their hands on a product or something, and it becomes frustrating and it's hard to navigate through that disappointment and this stuff. So yeah, I just want to say something in it, like maybe just thinking about what I said in the beginning, that if I understand and I know that it is frustrating. I am saying is we have to be aware of how we're handling it so that we can manage ourselves better. And that way we can handle this situation better. And as we are growing into leadership, that we don't get frustrated. My first year, I was on the same page. I think both of us at the same time, without even talking about it. Mind you, Tracy is very reserved. I think, well, now we talk at a different level. I think we've gotten to know each other better and things like that. But I feel like we never had this conversation before in the beginning. And around the same time, we were both seeking, how do we become better? So just to say, nobody has all the answers, guys. And I think that's one of the things that can be frustrating, that we think that we're not ready, we're not good enough, that we're not that person, or we're not like that person. I think we all have a journey to go through, each one of us individually. And the cool thing is that you have this army of people in this community to run this journey with you, whether you're running fast or you're running slow. So yeah, it was a game changer for me to realize that that not everyone was running at the same pace, and that everybody had different levels of desire, different energy, different goals, and levels of confidence too. So that's really good, Tracy. So our third question, so you're one of our top recruiters, right? From day one, I just looked, you've recruited over 70 people. You're pretty good, pretty strong recruiter. And I know that you're pretty strong. That was one of the activities that you've done through this time, is in your little breaks of time, right? Focusing on growing your team. So I hope I'm not answering the question, but obviously not everybody comes in wanting to rock the business. So what would you say is the secret? Like, what's the secret to growing a team? How do you get to this point of, and we talked about this earlier, about how do you get to this point where you have this income with this business that allows you to say, I am no longer staying in this job. You had to match that income. So I believe, I know it, a lot of it is because of the size of your team and the production of your team. It's a big part of it, but you have a big part to do with that. So share with us, what is that secret to getting to that point?
Okay, the secret. You guys ready? Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm just kidding. So the secret is putting this opportunity in front of everyone. Okay, that is my secret. And I mean everyone. So I want you guys to think about this company, this business, as a blessing. All right? It's not about you. It is about blessing someone else. When you are approaching someone in this business about how it can help someone else, it changes the script. It changes the conversation. It's not about you and joining your team and how it can help you hit the next rank. It's about how can you help them? How can you help bless them? Whether it's bringing in an extra $100 a month or an extra 500, it doesn't matter. How can you help bless their lives in some way? And not only the income piece, but the community. All right. This community, you guys, wow. Just wow. We are so lucky. I don't know if it's maybe because the tone at the top with Erin Bradley and her being just like an incredible person, and she just naturally brought in the most amazing people into this company. I don't know what it is, but like, we are so lucky. And I just, if someone needs a friend or needs a community, they have it here. And that's what I love so much about this. So what I want to expand on this. So getting in people's inboxes, messaging people, and I'm not saying like just putting up a post like a starter kit image on your VIP group. No, I mean like really getting in those inboxes and talking to people one-on-one, following up. That's what creates results. You will very rarely have someone reach out to you and say, I want to join you. That like hardly ever happens. What the magic, the secret is in the inbox and talking to people. And you know, you may not have seen success yet in your business, and maybe that's why you hesitate and don't want to share with someone else, but you cannot let your own limitations on yourself be the limitations on someone else. You cannot do that to someone, because I know that when I recruit someone, the tools are there, the resources are there. Who am I to say that they're not going to be a kick-ass salesperson? Who am I to say that they're not going to share the heck out of this business and grow an amazing team? That's not for me to decide. So for you guys who are hesitant to share, the tools are there, the resources are there. Bless them with this opportunity and bless them with this business. All right. I can't stress that enough. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is cold messaging. I know like some of you guys get chills up your spine when I talk about cold messaging, but I need to talk about this. All right. The only difference between getting in someone's inbox of someone that you know and getting in someone's inbox of someone that you don't know is that you don't know them, but it doesn't change the goal. It doesn't change the fact that you can bless their lives. I have met amazing people through cold messaging, and cold messaging does not have to be dirty. It does not have to be salesy or slimy. There is a very postured way of cold messaging people. And for me, when you cold message someone, don't assume anything. The great tool is, or the great thing to follow is ask if they're open, give them an out. That is the best, most postured way to approach someone, and you don't look desperate and you don't put pressure on them. All right.
So Tracy, let's pretend that we don't know each other.
Okay.
We don't know each other. And you just see one of my posts on Instagram and you're like, that lady, she looks like somebody I should message. We don't know each other. What would you send me?
Okay, so I would message, "Hi Paula, I know you don't know me, but I wanted to reach out. My name is Tracy and I'm a mom of 2 and I own an activewear business. I just wanted to see if you'd be open to learning more about the business. If not, no big deal. I hope you have a great day."
Can you send me a link?
Yes, I have a
Tell
video that explains so much better than I can. And then send them the link to the video, to the joint video.
How soon can you watch it?
Can you watch it like now? I'm waiting. No, but
Can you send me your credit card? No.
See,
that's so true. It's it is harder, but when you start getting yeses and start getting into conversations with people, it gets easier. And I do believe that's how you build that confidence muscle. It's not a skill that you're born with. It's not like one day you are going to wake up confident and that's when you're going to prospect or reach out to people or ask the question. You get to that point. We get to that point from doing it over and over and over, and at some point getting yeses, and that's like, oh, this actually works. And now you're developing a little bit of muscle, and then it continues to grow. The more we do it, the better we get at it. So that's great, and that's really the secret.
Well, yeah, and
asking the question.
They may not join your team right away, but I will tell you, I've met some really cool people through cold messaging. They've joined my VIP group. They've become great customers. They become great hostesses. That not everyone out there is going to verbally assault you for cold messaging them. And if they do, then so what? Like, they're not your people. If they're angry and they're bitter that you reached out to them and your intention was to bless them with an opportunity, like, I don't need that. Move on. You know, it doesn't matter. And you know, I with cold messaging, you cannot go into this with the expectations that you're going to get results right away. It's just one of those daily activities for me personally that I built into my daily activities. 10 messages a day, 0 expectations, absolutely 0 expectations. And for the average person who doesn't have a big network, I think cold messaging is amazing because for people who like, I know there's other leaders who do not who do not teach it. And the thing is, most of us don't have a big network of friends. Most of us don't know a lot of people. And I don't think it's fair to say, don't do it, because now you're limiting someone from a whole different bucket of people that they could be meeting. That could be their future team. You just need one person, that one person who can completely explode your team. And if you tell them don't cold message, then that's really hard for someone who doesn't really know anyone. So that's my thing on cold messaging. And recruiting, I have to tell you guys, it is so important. I mean, not everyone here is going to be here to build a team, and that's fine. But the residual income that comes from building a team it can be substantial. Okay. When you recruit someone, some people might take off with it and run with it and grow a massive team. Some people might just sell a few bucks here and there. It doesn't matter. You need every single one of them. And as you start growing a team, you will see the portion of your check grow from what they're doing, not from what you're selling. And that is the amazing part of this business model. And when you start growing that residual income, that is a reflection of how many lives are being changed. That's how many people have an extra $100, $200, $500 in their pocket to be able to cover the bills for that month. That they're able to pay for their car payment, the repairs, groceries. So it's when you recruit and you share this opportunity, you are helping so many people be like, it's like a trickle effect. It's like, call it a pyramid if you want. Let's be ballsy here. Let's call it a pyramid. You're at the top and you're helping all these people because of you saying yes and you sharing it with people, and they shared it and they shared it. Your yes is the reason that so many other lives have been blessed. Hold on, there's a question. How do you find people to cold message? I know you mentioned someone sees your post and cold message them. How did they see your post? Not that. Okay, so, there's other questions here. I'm sorry. Kendra, it was the Legacy Leadership Academy with Bob Heilig. It was a course, not a book. Okay, so how do I find people to cold message? I look them up on Instagram. I look up people on Facebook. And how do I look them up? Okay, so on Facebook, what I do is I go to the major pages for like Lululemon, Athleta, other Fabletics, and I start looking through the comments. And people who are nice in the comments, I message them. If they're on the comments and they're ranting about how an exchange took 75 years, then I'm not going to message them. But I will message the people who were nice, and I will find people that way. Another one that I just found found yesterday, was I started searching the hashtag Peloton on Instagram. And I started messaging people who use that hashtag. And guess what? Pelotons are expensive, so they have money. So I started messaging those people, and they're actually pretty nice people. I've gotten some responses. So that's how I find people. If you want
pretty nice people.
if you don't want to look up hashtags, maybe look up go to really big pages, like go to the Peloton page and look at people who are commenting on those posts. Message those people. It's limitless. Yes, awesome. Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, it's limitless. Like, social media is amazing, and you can find so many people. I mean, you think there's millions of people out there.
The cool thing about it is, like, social media is like you remember in the, years and years ago, people knocking on doors, people leaving flyers on like car windshields and the sides of the, like the opening the door, or phone booths and things like that. People like, we don't need to do that. We can be on here from the toilet, from the couch, watching Netflix and working your business. It's like really amazing. And I do think if you're intentional about the time and you block, I don't know, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on how much, how much time you have and the size of your goals. But if you focus on timing it, you can get through a lot and you start getting a lot of responses for sure. I can't tell you, oh, it's going to happen overnight or in a week, but it happens. You just never know. You just never know. And you may hit the jackpot. You start adding a couple people, see the opportunity. You can even tell them the wrong thing. Like you can even tell them crazy stuff. And they'll be like, this is an amazing opportunity, sign me up. And they run with it, even if you don't have all the answers. So all you have to do is focus on your vision and focus on the belief that if it's happening for other people, it's going to happen to you, for you too. It's going to happen for you too. I have no doubt about it. Tracy, that's so good. And I mean, I really wish you guys see it for what it is. That is the secret, is saying more, saying less to a lot of people, inviting a lot of people. And it could be cold messaging. It could be, listen, if you have friends that are like your ride or die, whatever, and if you say, let's jump off of here, and they jump with you, ask them, say, hey, are you open to taking a look at what I'm doing? I think you may like this. If not, it's okay, no big deal. But it could be anybody. The more people you ask the question to, the more a happy hostess, somebody who had a great party, a happy customer, you can always say, hey, have you ever thought about the business opportunity? Do you want me to send you more information? Would you be open to taking a look? That's it. Don't complicate it. It could be anybody. Cold messaging works if you're somebody who's not having, maybe you've done other businesses before and you're like, man, my people are tired of watching me do all these businesses or whatever, then even more reasons to find. I personally built the majority of my business in the beginning with strangers, like the majority of, right? Like a lot of you guys, we never knew each other in person. Sad to say, but I didn't want to. So I'll tell you what, I personally didn't want to deal with rejection. So from people that I knew. So I said, I'm going to reach out to people that I don't care if they tell me no. But if people that I knew and that I was close to told me no, I knew it was going to get me frustrated in the beginning. And I was really excited about the business and I didn't want anybody to step on that excitement. So I'm like, you know what? A stranger says no, I don't care. Somebody close to me says no, I don't know if I can handle it. And that was me 2 years ago. Today, somebody close to me says no, I'm okay with it. I don't take it personal. Then, yeah. So maybe that's you. So maybe that helps you guys. Like, do what you have to do. If you have these goals and dreams, don't let that fear of rejection from somebody that you didn't even know get in the way of you reaching your goals. And then we have, my phone turned off. Okay, so we have, let's see, we have another question for Tracy. Do you guys have any questions for Tracy? If you have any, post them, any other questions. Okay, so Tracy, and this is like the toughest part. How have you've managed a lot of hardship, traveling, you mentioned that before, you've just a few months ago, you also lost your grandfather, you had to travel to another city, you with your kids, you had to work being there, you had, a growing team and all these things. How do you just get up every day and you're like one foot in front of the other and not freak out and not lose it and not, just completely dropped the ball?
I think the Cancun trip, first of all, was very life-changing for me because at that point in time, I realized what was possible. I was meeting all of these leaders who were doing Zaya full time, and I wanted that. I wanted that lifestyle. I wanted to make that happen, and that's when my why really hit deep. And so through the tough times, you know, I believe the struggles are necessary. I think you have to struggle in this business because it's really going to test you, and it's really going to make you it's really going to make you stand stronger in your why, in your vision. And during these tough times, one of the things that I did consistently is personal development. I know some people are like, I even told Paula before, I don't have time for that.
Like, whatever.
And Paula's like, excuse me, okay. But no, like I didn't have time for it. I didn't have the time to sit and read a book. Like up until recent, I still haven't picked up a book, but like up until last week, you will never, ever, ever catch me reading a book because I didn't have the time, or I would fall asleep reading it because I was so tired. Listening, audio was my thing. Audio, I would listen to podcasts, I would listen to audiobooks, and filling your mind with really, really motivating and inspiring content, I believe, is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Even the best people in the game, they do personal development consistently. I mean, they hire really expensive coaches to keep their head in the game, to keep them focused. So we need to take it upon ourselves to be very consistent in working on our mindset and working on being motivated and driven. And during those times where it's really hard, it is hard to show up. It is really, really hard to show up and be happy and positive and be the light for your community. But I also believe in being very transparent. And when I was going through the really, really tough times in working, and I will tell you, I was falling apart when I was working so much. I was probably at like the lowest point in my life ever. I was absolutely crumbling. I was experiencing like physical pain from all the stress. I remember like that weight in my chest, like that heaviness, it never went away. It was there and it was so heavy.
And you have little kids too.
Yeah.
Hannah and Tyler are little. They still need you.
And they weren't getting me, and I mean, I would be there, but I was hurting so much inside. And being transparent about my struggles, I think it really brought together the community, and it helped people see that even during the tough times, you can still work a business. You don't have to be perfect and positive and giddy all the time. Be open about what you're going through, and still showing up, and still, showing up in your VIP group, showing up in your posts, being open about it. That really helped me get through it. And I had to give myself some grace too, because not every day I was like going full force, sending my messages or running my parties every single week. Like I will be totally honest. I was not that person. Like people will be like, oh, does anyone have a party this week they can add me to? Like I would not respond because I didn't have a party to add them to, like, but no, like I had to give myself grace and know that I was doing my best and that I don't have to be 110% all the time. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's another opportunity to show up and show up better. And if tomorrow sucks, well, there's another day too. You don't need to throw in the towel because you have an off day or an off week or an off month. I had an off couple of months. Like I had I had to buy my way to my rank 2 months in a row because I was just like falling apart. Like I was
I
doing
need
no parties.
inventory. You're
I
like, I
I
need
just
all
I
this. I
yeah, I had to yeah, that's embarrassing to admit, but it is what it is. And guess what? I kept going and I didn't throw in the towel and I kept showing up and here we are now. And I want to. I have so many notes here that I want to talk about. So I want you guys to. Whoa! So many questions. Are you answering
I
this?
got you. Yeah, I
Okay.
got you. I got it.
Okay. So I want you guys to. One of the biggest dream crushers in this business is having really high expectations. Don't have expectations of anything because once you start expecting things, you're going to get disappointed, you're going to get frustrated, and you are really going to start going downhill. Show up for yourself, show up for your daily activities, and what, like, however intense you want to go in those daily activities, whether consistency for you means showing up once a day in your VIP group, or consistency means showing up 5 times, 6 times a day, doing a live every single day, like whatever consistency means for you, show up for yourself. Make sure that you are holding yourself accountable in your own actions. That's one of the, just please throw all expectations out the window because that is the best way to get extremely discouraged. And that's why, yeah. And then, I know firsthand, it is really, really hard for, especially for a lot of us newer people, it is really hard to envision a massive team and massive success because you see that it's so far ahead in the future, right? And don't put a deadline on your goals. The great thing about Zaya is that we are in such an amazing time in this business, and how I just went live on my team page the other week about this, about how this time in Zaya's like growth stage, we are in such a critical time right now where we're going to be experiencing insane growth in this company, and everyone at corporate is getting ready for it. They're ramping up for it, and they are projecting that Zaya will be a household name. Right now, everyone's grown their businesses through word of mouth, through parties. Very, very few people off the street know who Zaya is, but they will. And it's coming. Okay. So with that being said, I want you guys to, I know that it's really hard to see yourselves with big teams and that future of that massive growth in your business. But if you just keep the course and you just keep showing up, that will happen. Keep putting this business opportunity in front of people and keep showing up, and that big team will come. That residual income will come. And the great thing about this is that when you have a bigger paycheck, I mean, obviously it's like, oh, this is awesome. But no, when you have a bigger paycheck, it opens the doors for so much. Don't limit yourself to just whatever dollar figure you want to put it, like, don't, like, remove that glass ceiling, remove that upper limit, because with this business, it is possible. You guys can get there. And I really encourage you guys to dream, like, dream big, dream stupid, scary dreams, like just the dreams that you don't want to
you want to throw up.
Yeah. Like, don't, like, the things that you don't want to tell people because you really feel like you're going to sound ridiculous. Like, don't be afraid.
Do you have the board with you? No, you showed us a picture. You don't have it on the board. Do you have it on your phone that you can you pull it up?
Yeah.
Because this is going to lead to the last question, and it's connected to what she's saying. But I remember around a year ago, Tracy said, I'm leaving my job June next year. And she said, I'm going to have a party. Look, retire June 2020. Okay, so first of all, this was, look at those goals.
Oh, sorry.
Double Zaya executive by November. It didn't happen in November. It happened in November of 2019. It happened this year in 2020. She didn't give up because it didn't happen in November of 2019. It took me a year and a half to hit elite. It took me a year and a half. I didn't give up. I'm like, I didn't put a date on it. I said, I am going to make it happen. And if it didn't happen that month, it would happen the next month. If it didn't happen that month, it would happen the next month. She said on that board as well a year ago, she said, there's going to be a party on July 4th. And I said to her, my whole family is flying to San Diego and we're going to be at that party. And stinking COVID hit and we can't go. My husband took that week off so we could go and had that week off. But we are not traveling because of COVID. But the thing is, it happened. It happened. And when you have that vision, you're more committed to show up in the everyday things. When you're just going through the motions, it's easy not to do it. And I think the important activities that matter with this business are so easy to do, but so easy not to do too. So if you find yourself like frustrated, or you're like, the needle of my business is not moving forward, the best thing you can do, get into action, get into activity, message somebody. And I would say, so a year ago, Tracy, you saw yourself leaving your job. Now that it's a reality, now that it's happened, and you're still probably not 100% there in your head, you're like, what is happening? And I ask you to do this, so maybe this help you, but where do you see yourself a year from now? Like what's gonna happen?
You know, that's
what next?
It's that is a very, very, very hard question to answer. But I will tell you that I see myself on Paula's current status. I see myself as elite, maybe higher. I see myself with an organization of over 4,000 people. Is that what you have right now?
We have almost 4,500.
That's crazy. Presidential. Okay, Melissa. All right. Okay. I got to dream bigger. See, I'm limiting myself. See, that's that glass ceiling right there. Okay. And then, and obviously a year from now, I will have met more of you guys in person, because we will have a freaking in-person event where we can hug each other. Oh, and one of the things that scares the living daylights out of me is speaking on stage at a summit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want to do it. I want to speak at a summit. Yeah, so that's another one of the things that I see myself doing. But a year, okay. Sorry, I want to keep going. So a year from now, I see our family in a much better financial situation, but and more importantly, I want to see more people on my team where I am right now and higher. I want to help the team grow and dream bigger and be able to advance themselves in life. There are so many people on my team right now who are struggling in their jobs, or they're unhappy. They want to make that next step, or take that next step. And I really hope that me being able to do this is paving the way for more people to be able to do this, because I will tell you, it was really hard. It was so hard. It was really, really hard to keep showing up and to keep going when I was feeling like I was just gonna fall apart. But if you keep going during those really, really hard times, you will come out on top, and you will see success, and you will achieve your dreams. And I want you guys to really encourage you. I know, I'm going to cry too. Stop. I really want to encourage you guys to just dream and be crazy enough to go after them.
Oh my gosh. You're just, it's just incredible what you've achieved. And I want to close this just thanking you, Tracy, for sharing, for being so vulnerable. And it's not easy to share those things. And I know it's not easy for me, but I've learned that in sharing my struggles, in sharing our struggles, it allows other people to also embrace their own struggles and keep going. If we don't hear about the ugly parts of our journeys, then we can't believe that it's possible. And I know I constantly, like, I would send her encouraging things or whatever when I knew she was having a hard time. And then this week I sent her, and I'll close with this. I said to her, this makes more sense now. One day you will tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through. I can't. One day you will tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. And I hope, you guys, that this gives you hope, that this gives you strength on the times that it feels difficult. Today, I know it felt difficult for many, but at the same time, there's more coming. And if it's not cheetah pants, it wasn't meant to be for you this time. It will be another time. It's okay. It's difficult times right now, not just with our inventory and our website, but just in general. People are hurting out there. So you may be even dealing with unsupportive people, unsupportive friends, and demanding jobs, and lots and lots of things going out there. But just keep your head high. And I read the other day, keep your chin up, princess, so that your crown doesn't fall off. And I don't remember the exact quote, but just that made sense in my head. So keep your chin up, keep going. This business is going to build you up, it's going to change so many things in your future, and it's something that will allow you the opportunity to bless other people directly or indirectly. So keep going. Love you guys so much. I don't know. Yes. So Tracy, thank you so much for sharing.
Can I share something?
Yes.
This is like super personal. So I'm really big on intuition and listening, listening to your inner guide, and whether you guys want to call it like spiritual or God or prayer or whatever it is. I'm okay. I'm just going to read it. So my dad, he passed away 15 years ago. The anniversary was just last week. And I had met a woman at an event that I did about a year ago. And so I'm just going to go with it. So I wrote a letter to my dad. I said, "Dear Dad, today a woman I met told me to write you a letter. I don't know if I ever have, or it's just been a really long time. I know you're here with me. I know you've put so much abundance into my life, and I'm so grateful for that. I feel there is something that is keeping me from hitting the next level to achieve financial freedom, to hit the next level in my business. Please give me the guidance to open up the clear pathways to accept all of the answers. I feel I am I am right on the edge of receiving, but am clouded by stress and exhaustion. Please bring the right people into my business who will help take things to the next level and bring me home for good. My heart is not in my career. It's not what I meant to do long term. I am worthy of doing what fills my heart and also supports my family. I need the guidance and the answers because I know it is all possible. I know I was destined to accomplish huge things. Please let me do these things so I can live freely without financial worry and change lives." So I think sometimes, putting your thoughts on paper, really opening your heart to listen and listen for guidance, I think that's really important. And I know that you guys are all here because you see something, you see a bigger picture. And I really encourage you to just take time to yourself and just listen, whether it's through prayer or just listening to your thoughts. I sit quietly by myself a lot and I talk and I cry a lot. But I think if you open the pathways in your heart to be able to accept the guidance and the blessings, you will be blessed and it will happen. Love you guys. Thank you.
You, Tracy, you made us all cry. That's so powerful. Write a letter to your future self. That's something that I actually did, and I don't know where. I have it in one of my journals, something that Rachel Hollis actually said. Write a letter to yourself. Dear Persistence, I think it was something like that. Dear Persistence, this is what I've accomplished. So all right, let's do this. Hope you guys are inspired, encouraged, full of hope, a few tears, but that it's okay. That's when we experience a lot of breakthroughs. Thank you, Tracy. Love you. Love you guys. We got this. New releases tomorrow. What?
I can't do this again.
Tomorrow. Get some sleep, you guys. Love you. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Tracy. Bye.
Thank you.